Was good, y'all? Red Sosa back in a building with another banger, man. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to say thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm going to be showing y'all how to create the first ever balanced offensive 4 build in NBA 2K23. Now, before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day and y'all are not going to want to miss. But be sure to go ahead and smash that like button as well. I would highly appreciate it. Now with this build, we're going to be able to get a total of 84 badges. Also going to be able to get all of the pro contact dunk animations. And that's including the standing contact dunk animations for pro big man as well. Now overall, we'll be able to get 84 badges on this build, but that's only just the beginning of what we're actually going to be able to do going forward. So of course, you want to go ahead and get started by putting this build under the power forward position. I have not seen this build at all posted on YouTube, TikTok, nothing. So when it comes down to this build, this is the first of its kind. So if you want to make it a different way, you definitely can do so. But going forward, I went back and forth, making sure that I went with the attributes that I specifically wanted. Same thing with the badge counts. Now when it comes down to the animations, I was able to get more of the contact dunks. I didn't want to go with the elite just because I was going to take away from some of this build if I try to go ahead and get that 92 driving dunk. Now when it comes down to the driving and the standing dunk, both of these are going to be balanced on this build. So to get started, go with the height of 6'10". The weight I like is going to be 210. Now for the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'4". Now let's go ahead and check out the body shape. You can go with anything based to your own liking. What I think is going to be best just to take up the most space on the defensive end is going to be the body shape of builds. Now if you followed everything correctly up to this point, we're going to go ahead and get started with the actual build making. Now let's go ahead and start out with the physicals first. I'm going to go with an 80 speed. Acceleration will be a 76. I'm not too much worried about the strength, but as far as for the vertical, make sure you go with the 75, and then the stamina, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to a 90. Now overall for the physicals, this build is looking pretty solid in my opinion, especially for being 6'10". Now the weight, I know that does apply to the strength a lot, but I'm not going to be touching the weight because I'm looking more for the speed out of this 6'10 build. Now the wingspan looking super solid, especially when it comes down to the defensive end. Now let's go ahead and get started with the rebounding. For my offensive and the defensive, you can choose which one of these you want to upgrade more than the other. I'm going to go with an 85 for my defensive and a 73 for my offensive. When it comes down to the block, you need to consider what this build will be looking like with boost, but as well as with the takeover activated. So out of this build, I'm just going to go ahead and let you know right now, we'll be able to get shot creating takeover, sharpshooting playmaking with glass cleaning. So if you buy boost and activate that glass cleaning takeover, you'll be able to get a 99 defensive rebound out of this build. Now when it comes down to the rest of the defense, we're going to go with the 77 block. 71 when it comes down to the steal. Now for my perimeter defense, I'm going to go with the 79 as well as the 58 interior defense. And right here we get a total of 20 defensive badges. Now if you add on the extra 4 that you unlock from becoming a starter in my career, this will be 24 defensive badges. But overall, I like the badge count that we get as well as the badge tiers. Now going into the playmaking, this is going to be one of the best parts about this build. For my pass accuracy, this is going to be an essential part of the build, so you need to make sure that you make some room for this. I'm going to go with an 82 pass accuracy, max out my ball handle at 81. Then from there, I'm going to go with a 71 speed with ball, and we get 19 playmaking badges. Now, if you add the +4 here, you'll be able to get 23. But overall, look at the badge count that we get. I'm telling you, you have everything for the playmaking that you're going to need. Then when it comes down to the defense, you're going to be able to guard anybody 1 through 5. Now when it comes down to the shooting, this is going to be the most essential part to be more like a Kevin Durant build. So I'm going to go with the free throw of a 75. 3-point shot will be an 86. Now for the mid-range, I'm going to go with an 85, but if you want to go lower, that is perfectly okay. And right here, this is where we're able to get the 8 Hall of Fame badges. 9 if you go ahead and upgrade your mid-range just a little bit more to get guard up on Hall of Fame. Now honestly, I feel like this is going to be the best setup for this kind of build going forward, especially if you're looking to make one that's not super overpowered on the offensive end, but more so balanced all around. I think this is going to be the best build that you can make for you. But when it comes down to the finishing, I'm telling you, it only gets better as we get into this part of the build. But if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and let me know in the comments if you're looking to make this build, and if you're going to make some tweaks, let me know as well, so possibly I can remake it and bring y'all an even better version. Now for the finishing going up, I'm going to go with the standing dunk of an 80. Driving dunk of an 84, my layup will be an 82, then for the close shot, this is going to be an 84. Now right here, I'm telling y'all, this is essentially what the build is going to be looking like maxed out, but with the takeover, I'm telling you, 84 badges, if you add on the +4 from becoming a starter, that's 88. Now consider that with getting pro and big man contact dunks when it comes down to the standing as well as the driving. Then we get Midi Magician, 8 Hall of Fame shooting badges, 9 if you do decide to upgrade the mid-range even more. We get Silver Quick First Step, killer combos, Client Breaker, and like I said, pro dribble moves. Now with the shot critting, sharpshooting, playmaking, and glass cleaning takeover, you'll be able to get the potential of a 99 mid-range, 3-pointer, defensive rebound, and a 95+ ball handle. Now this build, I'm telling you, just from those stats, easily sounds like a Kevin Durant type build. But from here, let's go ahead and check out the takeovers like I did say. Now for the first takeover that we get, it's going to be the shot creating. Now out of these three, I would pick ankle breaking shots, not only because we get that 99 mid-range, but being able to break ankles and shoot from anywhere is going to be a huge threat out of this build being 6'10". Now for the sharpshooting, of course, I know a majority of people would go with limitless range, and that's the one that I would say I would pick as well. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, all of these are pretty solid, but I would possibly go with team ratings boost over the badge upgrade. Now all of these are pretty good, but overall I feel like the team ratings is going to help you out even more. That's going to allow us to get that 95+ ball handle. Now when it comes down to the glass cleaning, I feel like overall this is going to be the most toxic one to pick, especially if you're looking to be more well-rounded, especially on that defensive end. Now I wouldn't go with box at wall. I think See the Future takeover overall is going to be best. Now for the top 2 takeovers that I would consider to everybody who makes this build, first I would go with either ankle breaking shots takeover or limitless range. Now whichever one you decide to go with first, make sure it's based more so to your own playstyle. I'm going to go with limitless range. Now if you want to be more of an offensive build, go with ankle breaking shots for the second takeover. To help out more on the defense, I would go ahead and pick See the Future takeover, the glass cleaning. But if you want to get that 95+ ball handle, go with team ratings boost. Now there's no perfect way to go about this setup, but as long as you feel happy with what you got, I promise you, everything's going to be working out in your favor. And the top 2 best takeovers for this build, in my opinion, it's going to be limitless range as well as See the Future takeover. Now let's go ahead and make sure that we made the build correctly and got the same exact name. Now as you can see, you should be getting these 3 comparisons if you made it like I did. And as y'all can see, together we have created the first ever balanced offensive 4 build. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges, especially with the core badges. Now I already did the setup, and after that, I'm telling y'all, you're going to be set to go going forward with this build. And if you want to make any changes towards the badge layout that I'm about to show y'all, that is definitely okay. But now let's go ahead and take it to the badge counts. Now already I did complete the actual badges in what I put on. Now I'm telling you, overall for this build, I did go very specifically with how I went about my core badges, but also throwing on my current badges. So as you can see with the finishing, I did go with Giant Slayer on Hall of Fame. Also going to be able to get Silver Pro Touch. Then from there, I did go with Gold Fearless Finisher, Silver Limitless Takeoff, and then for my core badge, I went with Silver Rise Up, and then Bronze Posterizer. Now that's going to be out of tier 3 overall on this build. I'm telling y'all, we have everything that we need for the finishing badges, but when it comes down to the shooting, I feel like overall the most important shooting badge is going to be Midi Magician on Hall of Fame. Now from there, I'm going to go with Guard Up on Gold. You can go with Agent 3 on Silver. Now from there, I'm going to go with Gold Blinders. That's going to be my core shooting badge. Also threw on Limitless Range as well as Deadeye. Now for the playmaking, we have a good amount of silver badges, so that's going to be first Client Breaker. After that, go with bronze handles for days, hyperdrive, as well as killer combos. Now the rest of the way was pretty much based to my own liking for dribbling. I went with gold vice grip, silver quick first step, also got bronze bailout, and then for the core badge, I'm going to go with silver unpluckable. Now the last part of this build will be the defense. Now let me know what you think about the badge count and the layout, how I went about it. Right here for my tier 3 badge, I went with a core one of Rebound Chaser on silver. Now as far as for the rest of the badges, I feel like we were able to complete this build, especially more so with holding it down on the defensive end. Now if you made it exactly how I brought it to y'all and copied the exact badge count, let me know in the comments what y'all thought about this build and what you want going forward out of this channel. If you want certain build videos or if you want to see gameplay, let me know in the comments, and I most definitely got y'all with everything. But man, thank y'all to those of you who made it to the end, and if you did, man, go ahead and comment down TG for thank God, and I most definitely got y'all with the response, so shout out to y'all real ones. But man, with all that being said, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now let's go ahead and reach at least 50 likes on this video. Go ahead and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload, because I'm coming with one every single day. And with all that being said, man, I got one last thing to say. I just want to say thank you for your support. Thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. And with all that being said, Rich out.